radio station, and you can watch good things. We are on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV, and today we're going to start celebrating World Polio Day, which is actually October 28th. There's going to be some good things going on around that's going to be going on. I may have gotten the date wrong. I think that's the event, but we'll figure out the actual World Polio Day. Joining us is Dr. Das. He is the chair of the World Polio Day Event, as well as Miss Neelam, to share a little bit more of how Rotary plays a big part in all of this. All right, Dr. Das, I got the date wrong. When is World Polio Day?
October 24th.
October 24th. So we don't want to be 4 days too late for World Polio Day, but the Rotary really gears up in October, looking forward to events as well as bringing awareness to there's still work that needs to be done around polio. Now, Ms. Neelam, many of us listening think, oh, polio, is that still a thing? Is that still a problem for some folks? And you would say yes for a few.
Yes. First of all, thank you, Rebecca, for having us here on Super Radio and letting us bring some awareness to polio. We have two events planned. One is the World Polio Day celebration, and the other one is the race, 5K walk and run on October 28th. So, yes, you had two dates. One was right. One is October 28th. Which is the race. Polio, short for poliomyelitis, is a disease caused by a virus primarily affecting children around 5 years of age. However, anyone can, at any age, can have polio if they are not vaccinated.
And I think that's something some folks need to understand, is the fact that you do think of it as a childhood disease. That's kind of where it really started to ramp up whenever it took the world by storm. But anybody is still susceptible to it if you don't have that much needed vaccine, which, Dr. Das, we get vaccinated here in the U.S. At what age for polio?
For polio, we start almost 9 months, and this continues. And they get 4 or 5 vaccinations until they have complete immunity. Up to 9 years they get it. And fortunately, everybody born in the United States are vaccinated because of our social service and screening program and watchful eyes from the health department. So we are pretty secured in the United States, and that's why we have never had any polio break since 1974 when it was declared polio free. But problem is when people come from outside already infected with polio, and which happens recently in New York, and that creates a scare. So we need to be vigilant, and we need to make sure that everybody in your family is vaccinated properly.
And stays that way, right? That we keep it that way. That's why these awareness, or the awareness piece to it, like the 5K and others, is so important. And Ms. Neelam, too, I mean, this goes back to, we know of our Rotaries who like to meet, and they have good lunches, and they have great speakers, and they do great community work. But we really can thank the Rotary International for spreading, or the distribution, I guess, of the vaccine and sort of, or laying the framework or the groundwork for it. So explain for those who may not recognize the Rotary's connection to polio vaccination, what that great work looked like.
So in 1985, Rotary launched Polio Plus when the total active patients in the entire world were 350,000. In 1988, the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, which is also known as GPEI, was formed. GPEI is actually a private and public companies coming together, and it's led by national governments with 5 partners: the World Health Organization, WHO, Rotary International, the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They all came together and formed this organization towards eradicating polio. So through decades of community and work by Rotary and its partners, more than 2.5 billion children have received the oral polio vaccine. In the United States, we give the injection for polio vaccine, but in other countries, they use the OPV, which is oral polio vaccine.
But the important thing is that it gets done, right, Dr.
Yes.
Doss, and that it's made available. And the fact to think that even after all this great work over all these decades, there's still places that you can't use the terminology eradicated yet. So what does that look like, Dr. Doss? Where are we still with that?
Well, we usually describe it as a 99.9% cure. Still, we have got to catch up to make it 100%. And that is the theme of our Polio Plus program this year. We have already started a competition, essay competition amongst the high school students, because those are the future. And those are the people who will be thinking outside the box. And the problem we gave them that why we cannot eradicate polio yet completely. So we had a tremendous response for that essay competition, and we'll be announcing the result of that essay during our celebration on 24th of October.
Which is World Polio Day.
Correct, yes.
So what will be going on around the world and then right here in Mississippi on that day, Dr. Doss?
Here we are having a big function in Jackson Rotary Club, which is the center for around 14 clubs around it. And likewise, we are having total 5 clubs in the whole District 6820. One is Jackson Club, one is Natchez Club, one is Greenville Club, one is Starkville Club, and the 5th one is the Meridian Club. And all the clubs around it will have some kind of celebration on that day in these particular places. In that way, it will be a lot easier for the members to travel nearby centers rather than going far away. And such a program is here in Jackson Club, and you have got tremendous program. First of all, you have got a scientific program, which will be starting around 11:30 to 1 o'clock, because we are very particular in Rotary to start our meeting in time. We start at 11:30, ends at 1. And we have got very important speakers. Our medical school dean, Dr. Luann Woodward, is going to be our guest speaker. She'll be opening the ceremony. Then I'll have the past international president, Dr. Mark Maloney, coming from Alabama, will be talking about the Rotary's involvement in the polio. And then I'll have 2 polio patients. You'll be surprised how few people at our age group and younger age group particularly have seen a real polio patient in their life. So they'll be able to see one patient who is 85 years old, other is around 60 years old. And the difference is one of them got vaccination before they got the disease, other one did not get. So they'll have an interesting comparison and their lifestyle, how it happened, and what kind of paralysis they have, and how they're managing their life in this stage. So they'll have an interesting outlook. And last, we'll have Sid Salter, a well-known newsman in this region, who will conclude the session with some special concluding remark from him, particularly pointing out what was evolved in Mississippi as a result of polio, which I won't disclose at this moment. I'll keep it as a suspense.
Because you want us to be able to be a part of it. So if we're not a member or connected with our Rotary at this moment, Ms. Neelam, is there still time for us to get connected so we can take part in the World Polio Day event?
Yes. So there is a website, Rotary6820.com, and there are 2 links. One is to register for attending the World Polio Celebration Day, and the other one is to register for the race. So go on Rotary6820.com to register. For the World Polio Day celebration, we have $30 ticket, and it can be purchased on site. It's at the Ag Museum. The function starts at 11:30. At 11:30, and our race is on October 28, which starts at 9 a.m. Each of these can be registered ahead of time, or they can be registered on site.
And Dr. Doss, for those who may not know their polio vaccination status, is that something easy for them to find out?
Yes. If they go to Department of Health, they can find out what they are, whether fully vaccinated or not, and the health department doctor will guide them how to complete the vaccination if they're not. I'll be very surprised if anybody have been missed. But still, they should check it out.
They should check it out because it's something you don't want at any
Exactly.
age of life. All right, that's coming up at October the 24th is World Polio Day. October 28th is the 5K. We want to eradicate polio completely, and we can do that with your help. Thank you both for your time and all that the Rotary does. But you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming.